what's wild in New Hampshire by wildlife biology, Derek. Hey, I happened to stop down at Portsmouth today and caught this fishing game truck, and I thought I'd see who was around. Here we are, Josh Carloni. Josh, what's up today? What's going on down here? And where are we? What you up to?
So we're down here at the Portsmouth-Newcastle Bridge. We are trying to catch some cunner by means of traps, and we have been putting some hook and line in the water as well, trying to catch some cunner to do a predation study to see at what size lobsters are no longer susceptible to predation by cunner. So we did a little bit of preliminary work last year, and what we found was at about, so a baby lobster, when it settles to the bottom, it's about 6 millimeters to 12 millimeters.
So half an inch to...
Yeah. About half an inch. And that's the carapace length. And they grow throughout the season and the next year. So we're trying to figure out at what size are they no longer susceptible to predation by cunner. And cunner are
a known predator, kind of?
They're a known predator. Some studies have been done on what we call post larva.
Okay.
So the stage 4.
Okay.
So to back up just real quick, female egger holds its eggs for 9 to 12 months.
Okay.
She'll hatch those in June of any given year. And then they go through 4 larval stages.
Okay.
So stage 1, 2, 3,
okay.
and 4. And 4 is what we call a post larva.
Okay.
Looks just like a little lobster, except it's in the water column and it can swim.
How long does that take?
So the entire larval season, or the duration, is about a month. It depends on water temperature.
All right.
Pretty quick. You go through 1, 2, and 3 fairly quick, depending on how much food's
Okay.
available. And then in that post-larval stage where they can actually swim on the surface of the ocean, they can be in that up to like 14 days.
Okay.
Sometimes they'll be a little too far offshore and they need to swim inshore to these nursery habitats.
So what's happening? What's happening with that lobster? You know, you've been the lobster biologist for a few years now, and
a few years.
You've been paying attention. What's happening to our lobster? I know the Gulf of Maine is warming some, which is seemed to be impacting. We don't need to go into details, but what have you seen in your time?
Unfortunately, without the details, it's a hard story to tell, but I'll try to
the elevator
be as
part.
concise as possible. So basically what happened was there were some really good conditions for lobster, really from the early 2000s through about 2018, 2020-ish, where we just saw this boom in the lobster population.
Okay.
From 2010 to 2018, we saw this really huge boom to levels we've never seen in the Gulf of Maine. The interesting thing, at around that time, we weren't seeing very many of these baby lobsters on the bottom. So you had all these, this high abundance, all these eggers, but not many baby lobsters on the bottom. And so that, it takes about 8 to 9 years for them to get to the fishery.
Okay.
So that lack of baby lobsters in the early 2010s started to translate into some of our surveys and landings, 2019, 20, and to where we are right now, where we've seen about a 34% reduction in the the reference abundance in the Gulf of Maine.
So the lobstermen have fewer lobster to catch.
There's a lower abundance now than there was at that peak, for sure, but there's still a lot of lobsters out there.
Good.
There's still a lot of lobster out there.
And I lobstered right here. I had traps. Oh, my friend Gene Brochu and I pulled traps here for 30 years. Right here, we had 60 traps from Pierce Island out to Odeon. So I have plied these waters for almost a half century here.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's a great tradition. You know, we want to keep it going, and right now it's a healthy, thriving population, but we do have concerns about the number of baby lobsters coming into the population.
Okay. So this is part of that.
Yeah, it's not like a panic time, but it's a time where a little bit of concern. We're starting to look at a few things, but you know, it's still a healthy population out there right now. About 1 million pounds a year comes directly from New Hampshire state waters.
1 million pounds out of New Hampshire
waters?
Roughly.
Yeah. I mean, it toggles around, but it's usually around 1 million pounds.
Wow.
And up to, 6 million-ish landed in New Hampshire, and a lot of that is also from offshore, out-of-state waters.
Okay, all right.
So it's a healthy, thriving fishery that we just want to do our best at managing it.
Okay, cool. So you're looking for some cunners. Well, tell us, if someone wants to help you catch some cunners, how do they do that, and how do they get a hold of you?
Yep. So if you catch any cunner in your lobster pots, I don't think many people are out there fishing for them, rod and reel.
But if you do,
But if you do, you can contact me, Josh Carloni, and call the office at 603-868-1095. Or
how big should these cunners be, by the way? Are there a size
we're
limit?
looking for, so basically we're looking for, from our ventless trap survey, so where we catch them in the
Yep.
summer, the upper 75th percentile, so it's like 8 inches.
Okay.
We're looking for 8-inch cunner, so those bigger cunner,
Okay.
we want to see, at what size lobsters are no longer susceptible to their predation. So you could also call me on my cell if it's after hours, 603-970-1924. So yeah, we're looking for cunner. The season is getting short. The temperatures are getting cold, so we're hoping within the next couple weeks to start this study up.
All right, if you're a lobster fisherman or fisherman and you could help out the lobster study, Josh Kalani lobster study, by catching some cunners, give him a call, help out, pitch in. They're having bad luck this year getting them themselves, so we could use Fishing Game. I've been retired 18 years. Fishing Game could use some help catching some cunners for the study. If you can lend them a hand, go ahead and catch some cunners and give Fishing Game a call. Give Josh a call. He'd appreciate that. This is wildlife biologist Air Corps for What's Wild in New Hampshire. Look at this. This is what's wild in New Hampshire. Aren't we lucky?